Hey, this is Tabmach99 over with Mortal Kombat Online, and I am here with Piepergerdes over at NetherRealm Studios. Thank you for doing this interview with us.
No, absolutely. Glad you guys are here and glad you get a chance to see Mortal Kombat 11 for the first time.
Oh man, before we get into the game, I really just have to say congratulations on this whole party. It was wonderful, all the pomp and the flair, it was just so over the top. What goes into something like that?
Oh my gosh, you saw the event. There were so many cool things to do and see and participate in. This is hundreds of man hours of work and a lot of really dedicated people that really came together to pull off this event. You know, we were in LA and London simultaneously, streaming it online for all the viewers around the world to see. So this was a big deal for us, and we're really excited. We hope people enjoyed themselves. It seems like they are, and more than anything, it's the first chance to see the game, and that's the thing that we've really been ready to get out there.
Well, that was definitely the draw, was being able to see the game. I mean, you had so many display units set up where we could go head-to-head. You had celebrities come in from all over the place playing the game. You had lots of stuff going on, music, DJs, just trailers and showing the story mode. What was your favorite thing about the day that they showed off tonight?
I mean, it's a cop-out to say the game, but obviously the game. But then beyond that, like, how cool were the ice sculptures that were out front? Actually,
super cool.
The building itself, they were projecting images from the game onto the building outside so that people could see that as they were coming in. Anybody that wasn't even part of the event could see that. I thought that was really cool and unique. And then, just in general, like watching people get their hands on for the first time. So it's been interesting. People are really embracing it and very quickly becoming better than I am at this game.
Yeah, well, I noticed that some fans are doing some amazing combos. In the game, there's the fight mode and there's other modes. What can you talk about the modes that were shown that were available tonight?
So tonight we've got just a standard combat, but then we're also showing off the Towers of Time, which is a single player experience where players can go in. There's towers with different sorts of factors that influence the fights and whatnot. So it's new, unique content that they can play through, and then that's going to rotate over time. So you come back a week or a month later, and there's going to be new towers there for you to play and experience with different factors influencing the fight. So some of them kind of silly, some of them a little more challenging. It just depends. It's a really deep feature, and again, because it changes over time, it's something to keep coming back and checking out.
Now, one of the things that we saw tonight was different customizations of gear. Like Scorpion has 3 different types of kunais or spearheads.
Yep.
There's different masks that he can switch out, and it's like that for all the characters. Can you talk about some of the customizations that's going on with MK11?
Yeah, so the character customization in this game is deeper than anything we've ever done in the past. It's near infinite, some of the variety of characters that you can put together. So if you want to use Scorpion as like your main and you invest in that character, as you play the game, you're going to, from every mode in the game, you're going to get rewards as you play, and you can then take those and change things like the gear that you mentioned, as well as character intros, victories, moves, there's augments for the characters. There's this huge variety of content that you can kind of pick and choose what you want and you want to play with and make your version of those awesome characters.
Now, are there any other game modes that are planned that haven't been shown tonight?
Absolutely. If you've seen our previous games, and I know you have, like, we try to pack as much content into the disc as possible given the amount of time we've got, and making sure that it's overall like an amazing experience. So there will be a variety of single player modes, a variety of multiplayer modes. There's a lot more to come that we haven't talked about quite yet.
So I'm guessing something like the Crypt will return.
Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to say.
Any toying around with things like mini games like Mortal Kombat or Conquest and things like that?
I mean, we're known for Easter eggs and like putting some things in that maybe are surprises that don't necessarily fit with the rest of the game, that make players say, hey, here's this cool, this is weird, but also at the same time very cool. We'll have some surprises and things like that for sure.
So we saw 7 new characters tonight. I know that the new guy was Garrus. He looks like kind of the muscle for the Time Goddess. I don't know if her name has been revealed yet. Am I allowed to say?
It's Kronika.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right, so she's not been shown off as far as gameplay, but we got to see her in the story mode, which takes place at the aftermath of MKX. So kind of like the last 5 minutes right before MKX ends, they show like a little new thing like right before. So I thought it's so well done. Can you tell us anything about how the story is going to develop after that? Is the Time Goddess gonna be like the final boss of the game?
I mean, I don't want to give away too many details yet, but we are, kind of like you said, we are picking up right where MKX ended. So you've got Raiden defeating Shinnok, and that actually upsets Kronika because she's trying to maintain balance in the universe, and by Raiden defeating Shinnok, he's upset that balance. So she's going to use her powers to manipulate time to sort of reset things, and from there, you'll have to see how it develops.
That's gonna kind of erase certain people from the timeline. I mean, you're not gonna have any Jackie Briggs, you're not gonna have any Cassie Cage if she gets her way. Am I right?
I can neither confirm nor deny any of these statements that you've just made.
All right, one other question. Shao Kahn is the character that people get for pre-ordering.
Yes.
Is he gonna play a role in story mode?
To be determined. Unfortunately, like I said, we're not ready to give all those details away from the story mode. There's so much cool stuff coming in the near future, though, so that we're excited to get out there.
Right. Well, one of the things I loved going back to the gear mode was it seemed like, inspired by Injustice 3, it seemed like the NetherRealm team sort of got an idea from Injustice 3 and then kind of figured out a way to implement that Mortal Kombat style. Is that basically how it works? That you kind of test ideas with both platforms and the games sort of influence each other?
I mean, we definitely look to all of our previous games as we're trying to push forward anything in terms of features or modes or gameplay. So, and we listen to the fans too. So if there was something that was really popular, like in Injustice, then maybe we try to take a version of that, iterate on it, make it new, fresh, give it, something that a Mortal Kombat spin on it. But there's definitely some influence there. I mean, you can see it, but I think that this system that we're introducing with Mortal Kombat, even deeper, more customization. I keep saying it, but it really is almost infinite in the number of variations you can make with these characters.
Yes.
So,
well, all fans have their favorites.
Yeah.
Some fans love the first game, some fans have the second game. Now a lot of people are coming out of the woodwork to say they like the 3D era. They want people who were never seen since Deadly Alliance, or technically not seen since Armageddon.
Right.
Are you going to have any kind of throwbacks for fans of those particular games?
I mean, there's the interesting challenge with any of our games is we want to do throwbacks to fans of some of the older titles. You see in the character roster, right? The character roster, we always strive to have a balance where it's here's some fan favorites, maybe some characters you haven't seen in a while. We introduced Baraka being in the game tonight, and Baraka we haven't seen in a little while, and everybody went absolutely crazy, right? They're very excited.
Loved them.
Yeah. So it's we're always trying to bring back some fan favorites as well as introduce new characters, and just in general make sure that the roster overall is kind of balanced in different types of characters and these sorts of things.
Yeah, one of the things that another fan favorite, Sonya, she's returning for this game, and it confirmed a long-standing rumor that Ronda Rousey was playing the voice.
How awesome is that? Ronda is a super fan. She was so excited to get to be a part of the game, and we love having her. She does a great job. She kind of is Sonya, and I think
a lot of people will be surprised at how good she did.
I think her fans will love it, and as well as fans of the game will love it. So I'm excited for people to see her performance in the game.
Absolutely. I mean, to me, the craziest thing was that there was this long-standing rumor. Same thing with the box art. Stuff like that is getting confirmed, so people are going nuts. Another rumor that's been going on for quite a while is that Spawn is going to be in the game as a guest character.
I mean, we love our guest characters, and of course at this point I'm not ready to say if there's anybody that we've actually even considered for the game or not. If you look at the past, guest characters are something that people get really excited about. There's a lot of healthy debate about who might or might not make the roster. We love that. We love watching people speculate to see who's going to make it into the game. We've got cool surprises coming for people for sure.
So one last question is, can you tell us what sets this game apart as far as we saw things tonight, it doesn't look like there's a run button. It looks like X-ray moves are out. They've now got the fatal blows. Can you just kind of talk to stuff about the play mechanics and also the new meters that are in the game? How do they work?
Yeah, so again, the designers at the back of the studio, they're always trying to iterate on the fighting engine itself and make sure that they're bringing new things to the table, new things and new ways for people to strategize and enter into these fights. So with the meters that you brought up, you'll notice we've always had a meter that you can use for enhanced versions of moves and whatnot. This time we've actually split. There's 2 meters. One's for more offensive related attacks, one's for more defensive type attacks. So depending on where you're at in the match, maybe you need a little more help on defensive side, or maybe you're really starting to win against your opponent and you want to put him down for good, then use your offensive meter and do an enhanced version of attack using that. So we also have fatal blows in the game, which is tied to your health bar. Once you get below 30% health, you can trigger a fatal blow. Big punishing damaging attacks, similar to what you've seen in the past with like X-rays and these sorts of things. Cool thing about that is that's actually if you miss or if it's blocked, there's a cooldown on that, so you get a chance to do it again if you get blocked that first time. So there's definitely some iteration on the gameplay and on the fighting that we're trying to push it forward, give people new ways to enter into these matches and new ways to strategize how they want to beat their opponent.
All right, and then I guess this is the last question. I'm getting a notice. The variations are back. We saw some crazy names like Frozen as Fuck is one of Sub-Zero's. Sonic Fox has got a nod. Scorpion's called Boone's Fave. How final are these? Are these subject to change?
Absolutely subject to change. We're having a little bit of fun. It's the first time we get to show the game to people, so of course we want to like put something that's cool and fun for people to see forward. A lot of that's customizable, so take it with a grain of salt, because as you play the game, you can change things. You might not necessarily have Boone's favorite. You can do whatever you want. So
awesome. Well, listen, on behalf of Mortal Kombat Online, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. See you guys next time. Take it easy.